What's going on, everybody? Welcome to A Milli Mindset. I am your host, Keith. What's up with y'all, man? Let me tell you what the hell is going on in today's episode. We're going to be continuing our review of Temptation Island, brought to you by Netflix. I believe that this show provides amazing insight as to how relationships are navigated today in our current society, especially amongst millennials. I think that every single person on this cast can give us a little bit more of a look as to the psyche of how either you, your significant other, somebody you know moves when it comes to the dating realm. So let's tune in. Our first relationship is going to be between Taylor and Tyler. To be transparent with you, I do feel like this was the one that was the easiest to decipher because there's a lot of common movements that I see when I'm working with anybody that is in a relationship and the way that they maneuver their partnership, as well as their own life when they're tied to somebody else. The first piece of evidence that we have is the age difference. I know that a lot of people may think of this as a controversial thing, but I do think that age really plays a significant role in a relationship. Taylor is older than Tyler. I know that there may be discourse that says that it doesn't really matter that it's only 3 years. Reflecting on what stage Taylor is in her life in comparison to Tyler. Although that is a key factor, I don't think that it's a red flag. These are. Red flag number one. Taylor and Tyler only started dating 4 months after his 6-year marriage. And he's 27 at the time of the show. So if he was in a 6-year marriage and then jumped into this relationship, that means that he was in a relationship as a very young man. I would assume that he was probably married around 18, 19, maybe 20 max. And that is a very young age to get married, especially when you're still in the flame of your youth and you still have goals that you want to achieve. Red flag number two, Taylor seems like a go-getter. Right after she got her master's degree and bought a house, my boy quit his job. He's wildin'. Again, I understand that the show was put in order for them to test their relationships and see if they can make it through it. But I think that that's a very significant red flag because it goes to show, in conjunction with the age difference, that they're just in two different places in their lives. She got her master's degree and he wants to pursue modeling. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do think that fundamentally you are not going in the same direction, and that can cause a lot of issues that definitely present themselves in the show. One of the final red flags that we see in the beginning, Taylor says, I thought that he was the one person in my life that wouldn't do me wrong. When you vocalize something of that level, it says a lot about you. As somebody who's been a counselor for over a decade, that instantly shows me that you have a lot of pain in your heart that you heal with a significant other. Taylor's story is one that I believe many people can reflect on, but we'll be covering her second because Tyler is the focus of our first episode. I'm going to keep it a stack about Tyler right off rip. The man is an actor. I do not believe that he's an actor for Netflix. I don't believe that he's trying to act on the show. What I find fascinating about Tyler is that I believe that he's an actor to himself. I understand that people want to love. I understand that as humans, we want companionship. But there is a part of self-development that does require for you to be alone and understand yourself in order to give yourself fully to someone else. Throughout the entirety of the show, you see multiple instances. Tyler sits upright like this. He answers professionally to Mark. In the camera interviews, he's looking up. He feels great. His hair is slicked back. And he is an upstanding citizen. Then when we cut to scenes of the house, the man is a full-out frat boy. Shirt off, six-pack going, helping the girls work out. He's joking. He's dancing. He's having a good old time. It becomes very easy to see that in one hand, he's extremely composed and a professional, and then the next hand, he's free-flowing and fun. Tyler, I think, is an amazing example as to why this show is successful because he was finally given a chance to have a foundation and be free. And in doing so, he was able to build camaraderie with his fellow contestant, the males that were there, and build relationships while being himself. The armor automatically started cracking. When the couples were separated and they had to go and make their selection after they received their bracelets, he vocally said to everybody else, I know Taylor thinks she knows who I'm going to pick, but I'm going to shake it up. Taylor saw his shit a mile away. She called that he was going to go with Kay off rip. She wasn't even surprised. But what does Tyler do? At the selection, he goes and picks somebody completely random. They both knew that Kay was his number one choice, but he had to go and prove a point. When you're an actor to yourself or to the people around you, you're doing things because you want to prove people wrong. Look at any single interview. He is stoic, upright, chest out, professional. This man got a 401k. I ain't got no problem with him. But when you see him on that date with Kay, he's glowing, he's happy, he's smiling. The man was elated. I'm happy for bro. Once him and Kay got locked in, there was no stopping him. He was attached. He's a lover boy. Ain't no surprise. He's jumping from relationship to relationship. But what I believe made this situation genuine was he was with somebody who was attached to his authentic self. There's two sides to Tyler: Wall Street Tyler, and then there's Malibu Tyler. Malibu Tyler is who he really is. He wants to be a model. He wants to be free. He wants to pursue other endeavors. He is more worried about not disappointing whoever's watching. I believe that he cares a lot about the people who have opinions of him, and he tried to put his best foot forward. But the honest truth about love and longevity and life is you can only act for so long. Eventually, everything regresses to the mean. When he saw Kay, who I believe was an amazing individual in the house, he didn't stand a chance. In my profession, when I run into somebody like Tyler, instantly I can tell they have a wall up. That wall has been constructed by their life experiences, by their family, whatever the case may be. Individuals like this have loving relationships with mainly two types of people. Number one, there are individuals that they let the walls down for, that they allow into their heart. Number two are the people who break those walls down unapologetically. And I believe that Kay was an amazing example of that. She didn't care about this acting. She's a 25-year-old beautiful young lady who was trying to find her man. And she went for it. And I respect her. I don't think he cared about Taylor being with Yemen, about anything that she was truly doing. Both Mark, the GOAT, and I saw that the only thing that truly bothered him was being emasculated publicly. As the show continued, the one thing that kept coming up was Taylor saying he had bitch tendencies. I know that that shook him to his core because he understands that Taylor knows how to get under his skin. And the reverse of that was during his briefcase video that he sent to her. Look at it. That was Wall Street Tyler. Damn near had a suit and tie on, sending her a message talking about, oh, I love you and all that. There was no bass in his voice. Say it with your chest, little ass nigga. In the final bonfire between him and Taylor, he came in with his suit and tie on and tried to be super professional with her. Even his statements towards her were very much, thank you for your opinions. I appreciate you. I love you. He held that strong until he brought up the subject about his ego, which I think was the biggest breakthrough in his entire storyline. He finally acknowledged that he loves to love and that he feels undervalued. The reason for that is because he's not truly allowing for himself to be valued for who he authentically is. I believe that Taylor loved Silicon Valley Tyler. And although she knew Keg Stand Tyler was who he really was, she voluntarily looked the other way. Tyler is a wonderful example of authenticity and longevity. You can only hide who you are for so long in a relationship before you eventually regress to the mean. And I believe that many of the individuals that you may be dating and that are walking amongst us need to do a valid reflection. Yes, somebody may be good for you for financial reasons or emotional support, but at the end of the day, he was going to become this person anyway. I want to give Tyler respect for still standing on some of the principles that he felt. He didn't want to explore a sexual relationship with somebody else. He was more trying to explore his heart and his true self. And I believe that he did that very well. I think he had an amazing character arc, and I think that he is textbook what a lot of people have to do when they need to look in the mirror when they are in a relationship. Taylor, on the other hand, is an extraordinary woman. And if you want to hear more about her, tune into the next video.